pro se litigants' rights and First Amendment rights. Stay tuned, we will be right back with our show.
Out of sight. Oh, Glendora, I want to see more of you.
Okay.
These are not my papers. This is the Constitution of the United States. And we are working hard to uphold citizen rights. Oh, that's what this case is about.
Where did you just come from, Elena?
The Senate Judiciary.
And where were you before that?
Well, at the jail.
At the jail. For how long?
6 months.
And what was your
I
crime?
completed my sentence.
What was your crime,
There
Elena?
was disruption of Congress in that process. But what I went to do with the Senate Judiciary Committee was to request the documents to which I requested for over a year and a half, documents as to the qualifications of other federal judicial nominees which have been withheld by the Senate Judiciary Committee. Before going into jail, I said I'd like to have the opportunity to study them in the 6 months that I might be incarcerated, and they were not forthcoming. And now that I'm back, well, I'd like those documents so that we can continue the work where we left off.
Okay, well, step back a little bit, Elena. I want everybody to see the wonderful jumpsuit that the D.C. prison gave her to move out on. Doesn't it look stunning on her? Yes.
It was disruption of Congress. And what I did was respectfully request to be permitted to testify in opposition to a federal judicial nominee.
And do you think that this is the way our system of justice should work?
Absolutely not. It's a bogus, malicious charge.
It was a fraud.
Based on materially false prosecution documents that would have been thrown out by any fair and impartial tribunal. And the reason it wasn't thrown out is because I didn't have a fair and impartial tribunal. I had a court that is funded directly by Congress, that is controlled by Congress, and that did its utmost to obliterate the rule of law and protect Congress, senators who are implicated in criminal conduct in connection with their manipulations of federal judicial selection.
Well, Elena, I appreciate you, and the citizens of the United States appreciate you, and you and the Center for Judicial Accountability. Keep up the good work. We need heroes such as yourself.
Well, I'm just doing my part.
Okay.
To uphold the rule of law and to give citizens their rightful place as participants in the judicial selection process.
Fashion state.
Here, Secret Justice News. I'm going over to escort Elena last hour at a D.C. prison where she just served 6 months of wrongful imprisonment that the Yales and Saxby Shamus and others set him up with.
Elena's being released right now. They're just dropping her off on the curb. She's heading this way. She's just leaving this wonderful vacation spot of hers. There you go.
It's a glorious day. It may be raining, but it's terrific outside.
How you doing, Elena?
Couldn't be better.
Couldn't be better, huh?
We did it.
Huh?
We did. We did it.
God bless you in front of you.
Great. Let's just pick up the boxes, maybe.
Okay, hold.
You are terrific. Let me hold this.
You just stand here. I'm gonna get the boxes and take them up, okay?
You're terrific. No, don't take them. No. Don't take them. No. Don't pick them up. With the truck. Yeah, no. Oh, wait, no. Whew. They're way too heavy. Around.
I'm gonna go get the truck and pick up your stuff.
I see. You're teaching me camera skills?
Yeah. I want to teach you the
Excellent.
on-site reporting.
Go for it, George. There he is, an American hero, on the ground doing so much heavy lifting over 6 months to make it possible for this case to remain strong, to protect my rights, the public's rights. Incredible man. Single-handedly did so much. No one else was there to do anything. It's a glorious day. It may be raining, but it couldn't be. Well, the weather does not interfere with how terrific a day is when it's a day of freedom. And how special it is to be able to be standing outside in December without a coat. It's balmy. Protecting this case.
We take
On the ground, doing the work that no one else was there to do. God bless you. God bless you. Wait. There it is. Hold on. Yeah, this is the jumpsuit. Okay. Perhaps you have some good skills here with the camera.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a complete novice.
Oh, yeah. Look, what he told me, me too. This is the note.
Maybe I should go and help you push it. It's heavy. Would you be kind enough? This is the Constitution.
Doctor, secretjustice.org was here to send the release of Elena. So, you see the joy on their faces. God bless. Okay.
We must go back to the cabin.
Okay. Now, when you're
That they don't lock here once again, make
But
this
there
American.
will be no force.
No.
There'll be no force, no here. I'm simply going into the office
right on that.
They will.
They just held her in jail for 6 months for respectfully requesting to speak to Congress.
Well,
Yeah.
respectfully request to testify in the Senate Judiciary Committee.
She was sent. And in fact, this is the first woman or first person I know of who was actually set up and framed by the United States.
Submit written questions, and if there are any, they will be submitted to you in short order following that. That being said, if there are no further questions or participations from anyone on the committee, we will stand adjourned. Thank you very much. I'll issue a warning that we'll have order. The committee will stand in recess until the police can restore order. Everyone remain seated. I'm directing that the police restore order.
Our first person I know of who was actually set up and framed by the United States Senate. It's on videotape. If you want to go to a chat with Glendora.
Even when you're incarcerated, you can be free.
Yeah.
Because you have followed your conscience and you have acted according to the highest principles.
Well, let's get on. Hey, we're going to head out, Elizabeth.
Here, Merry Christmas.
I'm sorry about your wasted time.
Don't be sorry.
Hey,
We're going to see something.
It was all for a good cause. It's all for a good cause. If we bring light to it, it's a good cause. Okay, go get the car.
Okay.
George McDermott just gave me this, folks. Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. Not that anybody follows them.
Amen to that.
Except us pro se's. We follow them. But the lawyers don't follow them, and the judges don't follow them. There's Federal Rules of Civil Procedures.
He's rewarded by
Constitution, the laws.
Well, I'm
And you don't even have to get broad.
but this is where you're at.
Very
Must have been
dark,
one of those rooms right there.
depressing, bare prison cell. The window, the small window was frosted, but at the edge, I was able to see out, and what I saw was this cemetery. And how frightening it is to be in that kind of place, to be in a jail, and your first glimpse at the outside is a cemetery. Of course, I wanted to know what cemetery it was, and I was quite astonished by the answer, which was, oh, that's the Congressional Cemetery.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So this is where,
Okay, let's
this is,
And I scrupulously avoided making any jokes or remarks based upon that information for fear that they would find some other charge.
yeah. Let's.
Many prior requests.
Okay.
And identifies the documents that had been previously requested over the preceding
2 years.
10 months. 10 months not received.
Yeah.
And at that time I said that I was facing a 6-month sentence of incarceration, and that in the event I should be so sentenced, I wanted to be able to make constructive use of my time, and so I would appreciate having these documents so that I could study them
Right.
while I was incarcerated. And this is a letter dated May 28, 2004, because initially I was to be sentenced on June 1st. That was postponed to June 28th, and I reiterated my May 28th request for documents with a further letter, and of course there has been no response to
Push the
that.
elevator button. Okay. 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 Hold on. Hello, Doris. Here, get on the phone here and talk to your daughter.
Hi. I'm free at last. It's a beautiful day in D.C. It's cloudy, it's windy, but it's balmy, and most importantly, I'm free. So most importantly, I'm free. So that's always a beautiful day. Free at last. Exactly. Thank God Almighty.
And Dr. Pavlak, we exit the D.C. jail system. Dr. Pavlak.
From the outside, just
How you doing, girls? How's it feel to be free?
indescribable.
Indescribable.
Nothing better, nothing more important.
Nothing more important. Well, God bless. Go on in and get what you got to get. Elena and Dr. Pavlak are marching in to get her clothes and belongings. From this wonderful vacation spot. Got to be as good as Cancun, I'll tell you, you know. Dr. Pollock. Hey, Carrie. Carrie, oh, here's your sister. Your sister's coming. Here comes your sister. Here she comes.
Racing to the phone.
Yeah, she's racing out the front door to your phone.
Carrie, I love you.
Step back a little bit. Let's get this on video.
Oh, Carrie, I love you. I was so worried. I was just saying I'm sorry. I just can't focus on anything. I'm worried about my sister. I know it. And George and Elizabeth that gave me a beautiful reception, and it's so special. We're at Carrie. We're at CTF. At the lobby of CTF, where you would come to visit me.
Where's she at now? Where are you?
We're gonna be here for a bit.
No.
So why don't you?
Where's she at now?
Shane, hold on. Okay, fine. Okay, I'm picking up my clothes. Okay, at the lobby of CTF. I love you, sweetheart.
Let me talk to her.
Hold on. Advocates of citizen rights and law, is really a privilege to meet Elizabeth for the first time, and George, of course, to be able to embrace fully, not under the watch of guards, but that is something really so special to be greeted by the two of you. And I thank you so much, because you have worked so hard to protect the case, and so that we can achieve what has to be achieved through it.
He's rewarded by
Constitution, the laws.
Well, I'm
you
sorry,
don't even have to get broad.
but this is where you're at. I mean, you know,
Ethics.
You know, yeah, let me see, professional conduct. Respectfully requesting to speak to a during session of Congress. They locked her up within 7 seconds.
Glad you're free. I respectfully request to testify now.
Here, later. Give that there.
Railroaded to trial and wrongfully convicted and given the maximum sentence of 6 months. And this is my first hour of freedom. Thank you. Thank you very much. And are you visiting a family member? I'm so sorry. Oh, now tell me, who are you visiting? Maybe I know this person.
That's my husband.
Your husband?
Daddy.
Oh, I'll be fine. He'll be fine. I know how hard it must be. How long has he been here?
He's been about 6 months too.
Has he been sentenced?
No sentence.
He's awaiting trial?
No, had.
June 1st, you're not in jail? You're not in jail? The U.S. prosecutor tried to put you there, though, didn't he? pleasure to see you again. You got your prison armband.
I was all ready to go
Hold it
to
up.
jail.
Ready to go? You're saving the money of reprinting the band for you, huh?
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
I also had reading material. You see, I thought that I would spend my time reading about issues of judicial selection and discipline while I was put away.
But you know,
Still, there was no time at that point for it to be reviewed. My legal advisor was not available, and I reiterated my request for a postponement, identifying the rule provision that gives me reasonable time for such purpose. And the response of the court was no response. And at the end of the day, I sent a third letter, and this time I provided the court with an illustrative sample of the kind of error that appeared in the pre-sentence report, because the pre-sentence report, perhaps to be rushed to be ready today, was rifling. So we succeeded today in finally getting the court, the judge, to back down and to recognize my entitlement to a postponement of the sentencing.
okay, well, what do you think about the Armed Services Committee hearing where national TV televised 5 people getting up there and massively disrupting the proceedings to where they had to stop, and yet there don't appear to be no arrest or convictions or anything in this. Is this not a double standard for you?
Absolutely, that's a terrific point that you're making, because so many people throughout the country witnessed what took place at the Senate Armed Services Committee hearing on May 7th, when a group of protesters from the back began to shout out for Defense Secretary Rumsfeld to resign, and they unfurled the banner. And most people who viewed that hearing, and certainly the hearing
I thought it was disruption of Congress.
of course,
Yeah.
that hearing was carried live on the major networks and on cable, and the clip of the disruption was shown repeatedly.
Yeah, but you don't think
But most people don't know what you know, which
well,
is
you know,
that
what they don't know is in your hearing, your sham hearing before the United States Senate, that there was only one senator present.
Right.
And a hearing before the Senate Judiciary Committee with one senator present and had been gavel closed. Your
Respectful request to be
respectful
permitted to
request
testify.
resulted in you being locked up.
Based upon documentary evidence, which is exactly what you see here, this was the evidence that was at the Senate Judiciary Committee when I rose at the conclusion of the May 22nd, 2003 Senate Judiciary Committee hearing and said, Mr. Chairman, there's citizen opposition to Judge Wesley based upon his documented corruption as a New York Court of Appeals judge. May I testify?
I've got that on
that
videotape.
respectful request made after the hearing was already adjourned by the single senator there, Senator Chambliss. I was arrested, incarcerated for 21 hours.
Well, I know that
prosecuted,
Chambliss didn't show
and
up
by-
at your trial because he was the
the
complainant. He didn't show up at your trial, but the trial just before yours today, they dismissed the case because the complainant did not show up.
Well, that's
I mean, what a double standard this is. I mean, the same judge, same courtroom, the U.S. loses a case because the complainant doesn't show up, and yet they expect to put you in jail.
Where they don't call the
and on top of that, I was shocked at the U.S. attorney recommending that you get a minimum jail time, a specified jail time. Plus, you had to go into anger management.
Suspended jail time.
Well,
It said
the
suspended.
recommendation, the recommendation they made goes to show prejudice on the behalf of the U.S. Attorney's Office. There was no need to try to bury the hatchet in this victim here.
Yeah.
But they chose to highlight it and to try to make it through intimidate her even further.
Well, you have,
What an absolute farce
well,
this was.
you have again brought up a very good point, because in this case, I had a right to confront my accuser. I had a right to confront Senator Saxby Chambliss. He was purported to be the complainant by Capitol Police in the underlying prosecution documents. The government should have called him as its witness. I had a right to have him as my witness and to confront him. I subpoenaed him so that I could have his testimony at trial, and he quashed my subpoena. He was able to move to have it quashed because said that legal counsel filed a totally improper, indeed deceitful, and false motion on his behalf, which concealed that he was the complainant, and that as to him I had an absolute right for his testimony,
Elena, do you have
which
any?
is not covered by any of the immunities of Congress.
Do you have any objection if I file a copy of this tape that we're making here with the Senate Judiciary Committee and Senator Edwards and asked if it's common practice and procedure for one senator, especially a Republican senator, to oversee a judicial proceeding in the absence of all the other, the whole committee?
Well, the answer to that question is that this is how Senate Judiciary Committee hearings to confirm federal judicial nominees are routinely held.
Well, we can't have that.
You'd have to submit also the original videotape showing
Oh, I've got that. I've got that.
But
That's
to
already.
show the other committee members what they missed.
That shows up starting June 5th. It starts showing on DC Comcast Live. There'll be a 5 half-hour series on your case.
You see,
Minority senators should get on the stick and find out what the problem is, because we have if this is the way our judges are picked, we are in serious trouble.
well, I have
No, I think it'd be better if they sent a letter apologizing.
Wait, I have invited the senators to be heard with respect to this bogus charge of disruption of Congress, and they have refused to come forward with any statement as to deny or dispute my assertion as to what took place at the Senate Judiciary Committee, events which did not in any way merit my arrest.
As a reporter, I would like to know.
Maybe they would be good enough to explain how it is, as you pointed out, the protesters at the May 7th Senate Armed Services Committee hearing were not even arrested for what they did, which was plainly disruption of Congress. Whereas what I did, respectfully requesting to testify, resulted in such
3 hours.
This court here is showing double standard. It let a felon who committed a far more serious crime than yours today walk free because the complaining witness had not showed up for the government. So, I mean, this is a double standard that we have to address. I will be looking forward to having you back here in the 28th. And
the 28th, when
you are allegedly going to be ready to file your appeal and take this to the Supreme Court, I hope.
Absolutely. The appeal cannot be filed until I'm sentenced, and I look forward to vindicating my rights and the public's rights on it.
Let's wait.
Trial, and she said she's not going to sentence him until March.
What's not guilty?
4 counts.
What is he facing?
What was the offense?
They said he has a conspiracy and wire fraud.
Interview with Elena Sassower in D.C. jail, July 21st, year 2004. Convicted federal misdemeanor?
Yes.
For the alleged disruption of Congress. And this is, I need to ask you some background. Would you please identify yourself, Elena?
I am Elena Sassower. I'm the coordinator and co-founder of the Center for Judicial Accountability, a nonpartisan, nonprofit citizens organization that is working to ensure that the processes of judicial selection and discipline are meaningful and effective.
Okay. And Elena, I need some background. You were incarcerated after a sentencing hearing on June 28th. Is this correct?
I was arrested and prosecuted on a bogus and malicious disruption of Congress charge. The purported basis was what took place at the Senate Judiciary Committee hearing of May 22nd, 2003.
That you were arrested exactly 7 seconds after you rose up and said, after the hearing had been gavelled closed, it took the officers 7 seconds to arrest you and march you back across in front of the camera. So I agree that you were set up by Senator Chambers and other parties.
On the IR.
When I wake up, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you. When I go out, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. If I get drunk, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who gets drunk next to you. And if I haver, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who's havering to you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more to be the man who walked 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. When I'm walking, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who's working hard for you. When the money comes in for the work I do, I'll pass almost every penny on to you. When I come home, oh, I know I'm gonna be the man who comes back home to you. And if I broke, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who's going over you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more just to be a man who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. When I'm lonely, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who's lonely without you. And when I'm dreaming, well, I know I'm gonna dream about the time when I'm with you. When I go out, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. And when I come home, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who comes back home with you. I'm gonna be the man who's coming home with you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more to be the man who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your door.
it back. Actually, you don't have to pay your income tax at all, because it's not a law. It was ratified by only 3 states. Back in the Lyndon Johnson era, Mrs. Lyndon Johnson invited some of her lady friends to lunch, and they went to Howard Johnson's. And the waitress was very nervous, and afterwards one of Mrs. Johnson's friends said to the waitress, "Well, you did a wonderful job. I know you were nervous. It's not every day you get to serve the First Lady of the United States, Mrs. Lyndon Johnson." And the waitress says, "Oh, Mrs. Lyndon Johnson? I thought it was Mrs. Howard Johnson." The birdies won't come and eat now because they know that I'm showing you. I'm showing them to you on videotape. This is Glendora, Cheerful Look at Life, brought to you by You pray for Esther and you pray for Rudy. There's hate between them. And you pray for them to be happy, whole, and healthy. They don't want to be like that. They're just got a mean spirit in them. So you pray to cast out that mean spirit, and all the present blessings continue. And then Rudy will be sorry for all of the bad things that he did. And then they will repent, and then they'll go out and try to make up for it and do good things for each other. That's the way it goes. Oh, I hope he dies in his sleep tonight. That's a terrible thing to have inside of you. Oh, that's so ugly. That's cancer. So, pray for him, happy, whole, and healthy, and all the present blessings continue. One with God, that he have that joy of being one with God. That's when life has meaning. Aren't they beautiful? Don't we live in a rich world? Isn't that a great creation? I would like to have $23 million. First thing I would do with it is to buy 20 acres to take care of the homeless people, dogs and cats. This is a fruit ripener. Did you ever hear of a fruit ripener? A man out in California, some association of fruit growers, he felt badly that he couldn't buy my ads that I offered him on TV. So, in repentance, he sent me this fruit ripener, shaped like a pear. And it's supposed to be just the right amount of light and the right amount of air. You see the little holes? To make the fruit ripen as if it were still on the tree. Did I tell you about the chief surgeon in a Navy depot? One of the sailors put a sign up on his door, chief surgeon, and he put the sign up that said Wizard of Oz. Woman answered an ad in the church newspaper. I am answering your ad in the church newspaper for an organist and a choir master, lady or gentleman. I have been both for many years. Well, the house is tidy. Look at this mail that has to be answered. Thank you, Santa Fe, for sending Glendora 10 videotapes. Send them back. Thank you, Los Alamos, Jean Gendreau, for sending back 33 videotapes. That certainly helps a lot. Thank you, George McDermott, for the very nice letter that you wrote. And for the 2 new programs you made and sent. And it's taken a long time today to sort out the rubbish and the paper and the compost and the recycle and the newspaper, pulp paper and the magazines. Did I tell you the compost? I'm waiting to put it into the woods. Can't get into the woods now. And the lock on the museum door was adamant, impenetrable. Couldn't unlock the museum and get into it. And so here's the house all tidy. And the sun on the desk is just a glory. And that blue sky all day long. 3 days this week of sunshine. Why, that's unheard of. I think these birds have a job. They come in the morning and they eat, and then they seem to go the rest of the day as if they've gone to work. So there's the larder, the ambry for the birds. So I think the house is tidy. Where are we going to put the kitty's toy box? It doesn't look very nice. We'll put it under the bed, which is her house. And she really wasn't much help. So all is in order. With about 50, 60, 70 hours of work to do. George's letter. Glendora, just a note to let you know I am still alive and sorry that I have not been able to talk to you lately. The things have been rather crazy. I don't like unloading my problems on other people, especially friends I know. You keep me in your prayers, and that's all the help I need. I thank God for the day that I met you, for you are an inspiration to all that the justice system will work. Unfortunately, pro se litigants have to work harder to see that happen. Sorry I was not able to contact you on Christmas, your 50th wedding anniversary. However, from the demons of the phone would not let it happen. I hope you had a Merry Christmas and an uneventful New Year. I was glad to hear of your recent victories in court. You keep up the good work. I am enclosing 2 more videos for you. Once again, thank you for all the blessings that you have given me. And may God be with you and work with you to expose the evil that has overtaken our courts. He really feels it, folks, as you can see. He feels the pain that this United States of America has no courts. And it's signed, very nice thing. Hey friend, George E. McDermott. Secret Justice News. He said he's putting all of his papers on a chat with Glendora. Well, that sounds like a good thing. Does it sound like a good thing to you? Prima facie, it looks like a good thing, but let us reserve on it. Oh boy, is it cold. Is it cold. 6 degrees it might be, folks, but at least it keeps the sky clear. And that means we can see our buddy that we haven't seen for a long, long time. There he is. I don't know this camera well enough to get it onto moon, sunset. And boy, we gotta go in. We gotta go in fast. Woo! This is some cold. Now, folks, remember the daily columns where you put in what comes in and what comes out daily. I don't have anything that comes in daily. It comes in once a month. And then the dailies go into the week columns, right? The end of the week. And then the end of the week goes to the end of the month. And remember these figures I read you? The end of the month goes on this year sheet. And this is the end of the year. And now, this is for the year 2004, but what you and I are doing over here is for 1937 through hold still, there are many papers. 2004, this is the lifetime sheet. And here are some figures. The biggest one still stands is Glendora TV ads by buying airtime, $547,767. Now total rent is the next one, $281,436. And then rent personal is $190,819. And one time only is $154,883. Now this is from 1937 through 2004. Total deductions, $101,752. Federal withholding, $98,849. Telephone, this is total telephone, I believe. No, it isn't. It's telephone business, and there's telephone personal. $98,596. Now, how does this compare to your figures, do you think, for your lifetime? Office rent is $93,268. Now let's see what the next one is. Here's the old sheet, 1937 to 2003. Well, this would be interesting. This is the groceries. $87,499 it was. So let's put that down. This is a scrap sheet. What was it? $87,499. Now we'll go to the 2004 sheet and see what groceries was. Page 1, 2, we'll be on page 7 and 8. Page 7 and 8, telephone, household, laundry, rent, HABA, health and beauty aids, gifts. One time only, total out, cleaners, museum, telephone, house. Okay, it must be on page 6. House gas, groceries. For the year 2004, the groceries were 2216. So you add that to 2216. And that's 15 and 11 and 6, 7 and 9 and 8. So it's $89,715 for groceries from 1937 to the end of 2004. So let's try to find that sheet and enter that. $89,718 groceries. $89,718. Now, how much do you think you've spent for groceries in your life? Okay, let's do number 10. Work on this 15 minutes a day. What does the old sheet say that number 10 was? The old sheet for 2003 was car repair. 79,571. 79,571. It's hard to hold the camera and do this. Okay, now let's go find out what car repair was for 2004. Gasoline car repair. 1380.54. 1380.54, so that's 1381. Oh, this is hard. Holding the camera and writing. What was it? 1381. Okay, 2, 7, and 8 is 50.
I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you when I go out. Yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. If I get drunk, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who gets drunk next to you. And if I haver, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who's havering to you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more just to be the man who walked 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. When I'm walking, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who's working hard for you. When the money comes in for the work I do, I'll pass almost every penny on to you. When I come home, oh, I know I'm gonna be the man who comes back home to you. And if I broke, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who's going over you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more just to be the man who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. When I'm lonely, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who's lonely without you. And when I'm dreaming, well, I know I'm gonna dream about the times when I'm with you. When I go out, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. And when I come home, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who comes back home with you. I'm gonna be the man who's coming home with you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more just to be the man who walks 1,000 miles.
$2,972. Car repair. It was 0 degrees last night, folks. 0 degrees. So there's the first 10 figures, 1937 to 2004. Frankie and Glennie, in and out. So far, this is all out. We're just about at the end of this tape. A friend came up to see another friend in the country, and the country friend said to the city friend, "Don't you go into those woods, there's a 20-foot snake in there." And the city friend says, "Don't tell me that, snakes don't have feet." And, eye doctor, can you read this? No. Can you read the bottom line? No. Can you read the line above it? No. Can you read the line above that? No. Can you read the line above that? No. Can you read that one letter E? No. What's the matter with you? Can't you see anything? It isn't that, I just can't read. And when Notre Dame went co-ed, the headline in the college newspaper was, "It's official, men, Notre Dame." I'm answering your ad in the church newspaper for an organist and choir master, lady or gentleman. I have been both for 25 years. It used to be IOU, and now it's IO everybody. One good thing about income tax, IRS, but remember this, you don't have to pay income tax because it's not a law. It was ratified by only 3 states. The government is just like the courts, you know. They push things through whether it's against the law or not. So anyway, one good thing about paying the income tax in April, the weather starts to get warm just as the IRS takes the shirt off your back. And during the Lyndon Johnson administration, Mrs. Johnson invited some of her lady friends to Howard Johnson's for a luncheon. And the waitress was very nervous. And at the end, one of Mrs. Johnson's friends said, "You did very well. We understand. It isn't every day that you get to serve the President of the United States, get to serve his wife, Mrs. Lyndon Johnson." The waitress says, "Mrs. Lyndon Johnson? I thought it was Mrs. Howard Johnson." "Teacher, why weren't you in school yesterday?" "Boy, my mother took me to the cemetery." "Teacher, oh, I'm sorry. Somebody dead?" "Boy, yeah, all of them." A man called the airlines and says, "I want to make a reservation from San Diego to Mishawaka, Indiana." "Well, how do you spell Mishawaka?" "Man, never mind. South Bend is close enough." The in-mail of January the 4th and January the 20th. National Association of the Blind sent an umbrella. Animal Protection Institute. Got to support them. They care. 8 things to videotape to tell you about. What's this, 30 charities? Arbor Day, Humane Society of the United States, Help Hospitalized Veterans, Eastern Paralyzed Vets. Okay. Can I afford to send money to 30 charities? $120. $4 each. No.
be the man who wakes up next to you. When I go out, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. If I get drunk, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who gets drunk next to you. And if I haver, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who's havering to you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more just to be the man who walked 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. When I'm walking, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who's working hard for you. And when the money comes in for the work I do, I'll pass almost every penny on to you. When I come home, oh, I know I'm gonna be the man who comes back home to you. And if I broke, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who's going over you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more just to be a man who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. When I'm lonely, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who's lonely without you. And when I'm dreaming, well, I know I'm gonna dream about the time when I'm with you. When I go out, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. And when I come home, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who comes back home with you. I'm gonna be the man who's coming home with you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more just to be the man who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. And I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more just to be the man who walked 1,000 miles and fall down at your door.
Or 80,972 car repair. It was 0 degrees last night, folks. 0 degrees. So there's the first 10 figures, 1937 to 2004. Frankie and Glennie, in and out. So far this is all out. We're just about at the end of this tape. A friend came up to see another friend in the country, and the country friend said to the city friend, "Don't you go into those woods, there's a 20-foot snake in there." And the city friend says, "Ah, don't tell me that, snakes don't have feet." And, eye doctor, can you read this? No. Can you read the bottom line? No. Can you read the line above it? No. Can you read the line above that? No. Can you read the line above that? No. Can you read that one letter E? No. What's the matter with you? Can't you see anything? It isn't that, I just can't read. And when Notre Dame went co-ed, the headline in the college newspaper was, "It's official, men, Notre Dame." I'm answering your ad in the church newspaper for an organist and choir master, lady or gentleman. I have been both for 25 years. It used to be IOU, and now it's IO everybody. One good thing about income tax IRS, but remember this, you don't have to pay income tax because it's not a law. It was ratified by only 3 states. The government is just like the courts, you know. They push things through whether it's against the law or not. So anyway, one good thing about paying the income tax in April, the weather starts to get warm just as the IRS takes the shirt off your back. And during the Lyndon Johnson administration, Mrs. Johnson invited some of her lady friends to Howard Johnson's for a luncheon. And the waitress was very nervous. And at the end, one of Mrs. Johnson's friends said, "You did very well. We understand. It isn't every day that you get to serve the President of the United States, get to serve his wife, Mrs. Lyndon Johnson." And the waitress says, "Mrs. Lyndon Johnson? I thought it was Mrs. Howard Johnson." Teacher, why weren't you in school yesterday? Boy, my mother took me to the cemetery. Teacher, oh, I'm sorry. Somebody dead? Boy, yeah, all of them. A man called the airlines and says, "I want to make a reservation from San Diego to Mishawaka, Indiana." Well, how do you spell Mishawaka? Man, never mind. South Bend is close enough. This is the in-mail of January the 4th and January the 20th. National Association of the Blind sent an umbrella. Animal Protection Institute. Got to support them. They care. 8 things to videotape to tell you about. What's this, 30 charities? Arbor Day, Humane Society of the United States, Help Hospitalized Veterans, Eastern Paralyzed Vets. Okay. Can I afford to send money to 30 charities? $120. $4 each. No. 5 Christmas cards to thank for. 2 letters. No, I don't know. Begging for money by mail. But you can't turn them down. They care. They're trying to help animals. They're trying to help veterans. So tell me what to do. Tell us what to do. Let's go see how cold it is out. This is Frankie's little Holmes heater that used to keep him warm. He had so little blood that one finger would be white and the one next to it would be purple. And it kept him warm so faithfully. Let's go see what the temperature is. This is my brother's 60th wedding anniversary. We'll have to call up and see how the party's going. .20 degrees. Last night it was 0 at 9 p.m. This morning it was 16 degrees. Rejoice, ye pure in heart. Rejoice, give thanks and sing. Your festal banner raised on high, the cross of Christ your King. Rejoice, 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 give thanks and sing. 2 new programs from George McDermott, the great patriot. This is country gravy. I didn't think it had much flavor. So, I put a few tablespoons of imperial margarine in it. And mashed potato, and wham, vegetarian ham, and cream style corn. And, folks, I don't drink soft drinks. Franklin's mother took a pledge in Sunday school that she wouldn't drink soft drinks. Soda pop. But Franklin loved it and always wanted us to buy it. So when I saw Cott's, which is a good old Boston, Rhode Island, New England firm, 4 bottles for $1, I got it. I guess just out of habit for Franklin. But it is pretty good. And guess what, .com? Guess what? The nor'easter has started. Yep. Birdies ate up a whole box of crackers, a whole box of Tally-Ho crackers. Ate up 3 packages, and here's the nor'easter. And it's starting out with a great deal of vehemence. It started just about 10 minutes ago. I called the people down Maine, and the 60th anniversary of Gordon and Virginia Folsom. Gordon is my brother, a United States Marine who endangered his life in Bougainville, to say the least. So they're having their 60th wedding anniversary in Augusta, Maine. 30 people came. I could hear them all. They were eating dinner. Stephen's got us 45 minutes of video, which I can share with you folks. Now this is the day to stay in and try to send $4 to each of these 30 charities, and to answer these 2 letters, and to thank people for these 5 Christmas cards, and to work on 3 legal papers. Just the day for it, .com. Well, my nephew Stephen did a good job on the surprise 60th anniversary party for my brother Gordon and his wife Virginia. Isn't that something? 60 years. And the nor'easter has started. It started in Long Island at noon. It got here at 2, and already there's 2 inches. It's coming down an inch a minute. It's headed, of course, for Maine, and party broke up. They did a wonderful job. They made us a video. So you and I will have fun looking at that. We've done 5 out of, what would you say, how many are over there? How many? Right there, that pile right there. How many there? Would you say there's 20 more? Okay, I wonder if you could help these people. Look at this camera focus, it's brilliant. My nephew Scott told me that in Augusta, a little bit north of Augusta, It was 30 degrees below zero last night. 30 degrees below zero. Veterans of foreign wars. I sent each of these people $4. Pet assistance. These are all non-profit organizations, Cablevision, so don't have a flip. National Wildlife. Eastern Paralyzed Vets. Wilton, New Hampshire. And the Help Hospitalized Vets. Help Hospitalized Vets. So, and then I'll leave their letters. I make my own envelopes so that I can pass these on to other people. And so that I'll leave them in the laundromat while they're waiting for their clothes to wash and dry. See if they can help them. And there's that nice umbrella that the National Association for the Blind sent, and I really don't want an umbrella. Okay, let's return. I just cannot resist showing you this. It is so appealing. It is so affecting. Nia darling. Oh, he's so cute. Can't get all of them. The geranium's good. What are these, hen paintings? Somebody is so good. Now let me show you the ones inside. Note paper I just don't use. I don't know what to do with it. If you could put it to good use, you can have it. Call me up. But they are so sweet, these cards. A nice calendar for a nice new year. Look at him. Oh, he's just a baby. You gotta take care of him. Yeah. These are so well done. Bunny rabbits. No. Kitty. Little kitty. Where's my little kitty? Oh, she's over in her play box asleep. These are such cute things. Boy, somebody is a gifted artist. Adorable. Little baby Siamese. So it's no paper, see? May today and every day be filled with wishes come true. Be careful what you wish. And I always say present blessings continue. Jenny and the geraniums. This is from the Paralyzed Vets, Eastern Paralyzed Vets, Wilton, New Hampshire. Chocolate Dreams. I just could not resist showing you those. 6 through 10, green. What's it called? They're wonderful. They've spayed dogs and cats and rabbits in the thousands. Let me find it for you. The Green Animal Welfare League. Maggie, wonderful work. Sent them $8. And Transworld Radio. That's Alex. He fell off a roof. Audubon. Okay, this is 6 through 10. Arbor Day. I guess it's the National Association for the Blind. Who sent the umbrella, which I'd rather not have. That's Alex, TRW. And RBC Ministries, who sent me the daily devotion called Our Daily Bread, which has been a tremendous help. And would you believe it, in all this snow, there was a little birdie trying to eat. So I swept 2 inches off the south stoop and gave him 3 pieces of bread, all ground up. And you, little kitty, I will try to clean your, let's see, this is an even day, January 22nd, and on even days we do the left ear. We'll try to get those ear mites out. Okay, 11 through 16. John Schwartz, Free Speech TV. I can get that on the satellite. New Rochelle Humane Society. Glendora Loves Rocky Dog. Mary Knoll, Fathers and Brothers. Illegal Services, Hudson Valley, and thanks to Judy Studebaker, who wrote the great book for tenants, New York Real Property Actions and Proceedings Law. The Salesian missions. These are $4 each. Free Speech TV. New Rochelle Humane Society. Can you help them? Mary Knoll Fathers. Legal Services of Hudson Valley. They help poor people, defended against greedy landlords. Salesian Ministries. A little booklet. So, what's that? 1 to 5, 6 to 10, and 11 to 16. And .com is sitting on the rest. And she comes over and purrs in my ear because she wants me to give her a slice of wham, which I will do instantly. I thought .com would like this little ring, rubber ring. You press it. Why don't all the colors show? They're red, white, and blue. It's funny the camera won't pick up those colors. Red, yellow, and blue. Then you press it and it stops. And she doesn't even pay attention to it. Thank you, Frankie, for earning all the money to give to these people. Thank you, Frankie. Are we doing right? Is that what you want? This is number 16, the United Church of Christ, which is the Puritan church, the Congregational church. And I don't know why they ever moved to Ohio. They started in Plymouth, Massachusetts, in 1620. And they have missions, and so we sent them $4 again. Can you help? So this is next to the last one. Now here's the Humane Society of the United States. Would you like these nice little cards? Note cards? They do beautiful work, these people that send you these things. They're all going the wrong way of the camera picture. Cute, isn't it? What is all this? Do you know? KingoftheCats.com. And here's two little kitty cats in the moonlight, which we saw so vividly, the moonlight, when it was 0 degrees last night. See, and it got to be 16 degrees this morning. You know what that means. When it's so cold, you hope it will warm up. But of course, the instant it warms up, what happens? It snows. Look at the kitty sitting on a bicycle. And boy, they do. And that's just the way they look. .com comes and sits on my work and stops everything. Teacher, how do you spell rose? B-R-O-S-E. There's no B in rose. There was in the one I smelled. Now, let me show you their calendar. Are these more of the same pictures? Yeah. You want those pictures, those little cards? I don't use cards to write. I use the Glendora letterhead. But these are magnificent calendars. I don't know. I showed it to you once and I didn't do a good job. See, it's always the light. Okay. I have to open it up. The little pictures don't do it for you. Poor doggy. Poor doggy. What's an example of minority rule? Having a kitten in the house. Oh, 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 you cunning. Oh, you cunning.
When I wake up, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you. When I go out, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. If I get drunk, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who gets drunk next to you. And if I haver, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who's havering to you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more to be the man who walked 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. When I'm walking, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who's working hard for you. When the money comes in for the work I do, I'll pass almost every penny on to you. When I come home, oh, I know I'm gonna be the man who comes back home to you. And if I broke, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who's going over you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more just to be a man who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. When I'm lonely, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who's lonely without you. And when I'm dreaming, well, I know I'm gonna dream about the time when I'm with you. When I go out, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. And when I come home, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who comes back home with you. I'm gonna be the man who's coming home with you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more to be the man who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your door.
Now let's...
Oh, baby. He needs all your help. You want this nice calendar? Horsey with his mother. Leave the horsies out in the wild. Leave them alone. People do such terrible things to horses. Let me get the glare off of it. It's all gray. Oh, he's got one little white pendant. Now this is nice how they keep showing cats and dogs together. No need to be an enemy on God's holy mountain. The lamb shall lie down with the lion. Oh, that's a beauty. It's interesting how they're marked, isn't it? Siamese kitties. And how they have blue eyes. Look at the kitty sitting on the rocking horse and the doggy at the Christmas tree. And let's see, we missed the first part of the calendar. That's the one with the kitty and the dog together. Isn't that something? That's Katie Cat. You look just like Katie Cat. That's just the way Katie Cat looked. Dog leaning on the cat. Oh, it's wonderful. I can't quite make it out, can you? This one doesn't want any part of it. How many are there? Well, it's a pile of them. Pile of furry bodies. Oh, that's so cute. Mary Ramage will love this. She says she can't have a cat on account of asthma. Look at the Three Musketeers. And that's the way it should be. Love and peace and affection on God's holy mountain. The city man comes up to visit his friend in the country, and his friend says, "Don't go into those woods. There's a 20-foot snake in those woods." And his friend says, "Don't kid me. Snakes don't have feet." "Hi, doctor, can you read that bottom line?" "No." "Can you read the line above it?" "No." "Can you read the line above that?" "No." "Can you read the line above that?" "No." "Well, can't you see anything?" "Yeah, but I just can't read." When Notre Dame went co-ed, the headline in the college newspaper was, "It's official, men. Notre goes Dame." We had a newspaper call us, Chatham Independent. wanting to interview Glendora about her suing the village of Chatham. Glendora will not participate. Newspapers today do not print what people say and do not print the truth. There's always a spin on it, just the way there is with the U.S. Attorney. So Glendora will not participate. Glendora has won those two cases, Glendora versus Nasty Natalia, and Natalia Preferred Country Properties versus Glendora. Glendora has won them both. The evil and crooked decisions, cheater decisions by George C. Dixon, the village justice of Chatham, have been overturned and vacated. So Glendora has nothing more to say than the 400 pages that she's already written. 400? No, maybe 800. So Glendora will not be calling the Chatham Independent. I am responding to your ad in the church newspaper for an organist and choir master, lady or gentleman. I have been both for many years. One good thing about the IRS in April, they don't take the shirt off your back until it starts to warm up. Teacher, why didn't you come to school yesterday? My mother took me to the cemetery. Oh, I'm sorry. Somebody dead? Yeah, all of them. The man called the airlines and said, I want to make a reservation from San Diego to Mishawaka, Indiana. Well, how do you spell Mishawaka? The man said, never mind, South Bend is close enough. What did the judge say to the dentist? Do you swear to pull the tooth, the whole tooth, and nothing but the tooth? This is Glendora, a cheerful look at life, brought to you by number 13. And it's kind of windy out there. Now, why should it be cloudy? Why shouldn't it be clear and sunny? Oh no, look at that bird. And hungry. Oh, we have to sweep this stoop and get down some bread. Yep, that's the first thing we have to do. But we rejoice for the night and for the morning light and for the rest. And that bird needs food. Isn't it beautiful? And look at that. 4 days of sunshine this week. Church was canceled. So folks, you go to church with me right now. And let's do church together. All by ourselves, right? We know how to say an invocation. We know how to say a prayer confession and give the good news that we're forgiven. How many inches would you say that is? 7, 8? Let's go look to the south. Look at that sunshine. Oh, isn't that nice? I did this the first thing when I got up. Swept that stoop so the birdies would have a place to land and have something to eat. Isn't it pretty? Isn't it a winter wonderland? And the wind is gone. There was a little wind. And look at that blue sky. That's snowstorm number 13. I would call Bonnie to see if she could come over and take me to church, and she said church is canceled. Bonnie is a deacon, so I called her. And when I call her, I say, "Is this the deacon speaking?" And we can take up a collection. And we can do a sermon, and we can read the Bible. We can do all those things they do at church. We can have our own service. Then we can have a benediction and a children's sermon. And prayer, music, hymns, and a post load. So I think it took altogether 12 hours to do the in meal. Doesn't that look nice, that tray? Remember how stashed that was? And there's 3 legal papers to do. And there's some videotaping bulletins for you. And there's a very, very happy kitty cat sleeping next to her box of toys. And we're doing the logs. What a nice landlord. He came and he shoveled it. He and his son John. And they shoveled it all out. How nice. So I guess we're back in business again. And the lockout is over. And look at that azure blue sky. Let me show you the south. The southern exposure. Isn't it pretty? You know, I just decided you can't have happiness without sadness. Andy Hertzman reports that James Dolan and Charles Dolan had a fight, and that Charles Dolan .com, that happens to be a nice book. Please do not ruin it. And that Charles Dolan wanted to keep the satellite business and build it up. I guess that was his dream after Cablevision. What's an example of minority rule? What is an example of minority rule? Having a cat in the house. And James Dolan wanted to sell the satellite business. And Andy reports that the Sun won. It's gone up for sale, and they're going to sell some other something cable system, something Time Warner. And I can't get Andy back to clarify it for me, and I want to know that news. Do you know it, folks? Will you call me and tell it to me? So I decided you can't have joy without sadness. Can't have happiness without unhappiness. And you can't have a beautiful scene like this without a storm. Soft as the voice of an angel, breathing a lesson unheard. Hope with a gentle persuasion whispers her comforting word. Wait till the darkness is over. Wait till the tempest is past. hope for the sunshine tomorrow after the shower is gone. Whispering, whispering hope, oh how welcome thy voices, making my heart in its sorrow rejoice, 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 rejoice. Now there's a happy cat, sitting on a bunched up towel on a sunny windowsill. Southern exposure. This is program 3999. The next one is 4000. It's already been made by Andrew Herzman. What is going on here at the moment? Chaos. And the tapes are being wrapped. The first 7 are ready to go to TV stations. Beautiful sunny day. Rejoice. Can't complain in such a beautiful universe. Oh, look at this. Way back in the good weather in July. Isn't that nice? And the kitty cat, are you through watching the little birdies? They're eating ice spice cookies. They are the most valiant little birds. I think I saw a weaver finch. And I think you did too. I think you saw a weaver finch. Little.com chenille. Chenille.com. There's a person out there who wants a little kitty cat like this to keep her company. There's some nice little old lady who wants a kitty cat like this to sit in her lap. Isn't she beautiful with that mane? She's had her operation and her fur's growing back in. Kinds of things you can do this. I don't think we're going into the computer. This is the praise about the new camera. Then I read how to attach the strap. The Sony strap. April 2nd, 2004. I think that's wrong. And how to plug the... That's before we learned to tell the time on it. It's been a real winter, folks. A real winter. It's already 5 degrees. Now, it's 5 degrees above, because I want to talk to you about 5 degrees below. That night that I said it was 0, it had got down to 5 degrees. That night, minus 5 degrees. Yeah. The hard work of wrapping the videotapes is progressing. And that's no reason to separate a person from God, right? And so that many are done. That many have to be done. Kitten is kind of lacking in finding something to entertain herself. So I've been elected to do that. Here she goes. And the work was really hard tonight. It was 8 half-hour programs for Berkshire, 8 half-hour programs for them to ruin and fail to cable cast. George McDermott's new opening is superlative, and he did a story on Kim, and the terrible things that the courts have done to her and the coal company and have stolen outright. But she's after them. She's after them, and George did a great documentary on it. And 4 half-hour programs for Chatham, Charter Communications, and a Super VHS for DC TV, a Super VHS for Maryland Public Access, a Super VHS for Brooklyn. So that was quite a few dubs to make. Sing me a song. Sing me a song. Tell me a joke. That's something I haven't done for you. I haven't put down your new jokes for this week. Every week you get new jokes. The nut fruit drink was exquisite. It was 2 bananas, half a can of Dole pineapple juice. No, it was great value. Walmart pineapple juice. Half a cup of cashews, a half a cup of oatmeal. A bag of frozen strawberries. That's it, I guess. Oh no, 10 little carrots. It was certainly salubrious and succulent. Bonnie invited me to her mother's. Every Sunday her mother has lunch for all of her children. There's about 15 or 20 come every Sunday at 2 o'clock. She invited me to go, but I guess you could see why I couldn't go. What did the judge say to the dentist? You swear to pull the tooth, the whole tooth, and nothing but the tooth? Now, folks, do you know how much you've spent in your lifetime on groceries? Since 1937, Franklin and Glendora have spent $89,715 on groceries. On car repair, $81,000. And refunds, money that we had to give back, $68,000. That would be that $64,000 that Franklin Chemical gave us, and then went back on their word, and we sued them. And we got Brad Sachs and we got about $7,000 back. One time only personal. That's a big number. $67,686. One time only. What do you suppose that is? Non-employee compensation. This is when I had people working for me. And then I learned that if you want something done, you do it yourself. $48,253. Their work did improve a little. It didn't take me so long to do it over. Now, this is interesting. Postage went ahead of gasoline. Last year, gasoline was ahead of postage. $44,000 in postage. $43,000 in gasoline. This is from 1937 through 2004. Technical equipment, VHS and microcassettes and a new camcorder and the titler and things like that. $37,000. Print, and that's with me doing the work. This is buying copy cartridges or having the copy cartridges refilled with toner and the paper. $37,000. FICA, that's your Social Security.